Good morning, Fish World. I wanted to talk a little bit about our January project of Tiny Worlds and what my thinking about that was to suggest that we use Trisha's tank style as our inspiration. So I'm going to take sort of a tour around her tanks and briefly discuss some of the thoughts and reasons that I think her tanks are so extraordinary. This is one of her many my favorite tanks. Every tank she does is one of my favorite tanks. But what I want you to see is the extraordinary detail. It is absolutely never about Trish just setting down a piece of green grass and letting that be the green grass. Like, for instance, right here, there's probably hundreds and hundreds of tiny something that were the right color and texture for her to make this green area. And then these look like bamboo of some kind. And then she made a walkway, very tiny and carefully and completely parallel and making sense. And then she makes this tiny bridge. Do you see that tiny bridge? Tiny Worlds. And then she has a little tiny waterfall that if you just rated her tank quickly and didn't pay a lot of attention, she probably has no idea that I spend hours looking at her tanks to get inspiration, but probably many of us do. It's just like, how did you do that? What is that deco? And because I know that she added most of this in here. And then, there's like moonlight glistening on the water. And I'm pretty sure that that's the Happy Holiday or Happy New Year's deco that we now have for coins. And then, of course, she added this walkway going up. I mean, there's a sense that it's walking up and not flat to another part of this magical world. And then these two deer that are the right color and size in comparison to this hut. And then there are trees, I mean, not trees, but birds that are turned around, that are the right size. If you were looking down at this as an actual world, they would be the right size, because they would be a little bit larger, because they would be closer to your eye than, say, these tiny little parts of her world down here. And then the tree. I mean, I know that there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of another different shade of green and another different texture to make this tree. And then this lovely area in here that she didn't leave out, and then her addition and selection of colors that make this so pleasing to the eye, with some pinks and some aquas and some pinks and some blues. And then she goes over and there's some humor with the squirrel, and then there's part of a world over here. I mean, she doesn't forget, and then there's more decos up here. So this is an example of what I'm talking about tiny worlds. Certainly it's not the only example in Fish World, and it's certainly not necessarily the only one of hers that I like, but I did at this time wanted to post a dialogue so that as people begin to move into the January project, they will get a sense of what it is that I'm talking about. It takes a long, 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 long L-O-N-G, long time to create this tiny world scene that has now become a classic in Fish World. So I wanted to record this, and I have invited Trish to also make some recordings. I know she's super, super, super busy, so I may make some more of some different ones of her tanks to kind of give us an idea of what it is that I'm wanting to see as we move into this January project. So anyway, I will talk to y'all later, Fish World. Love ya. Bye.